Seeing is Believing, Part 1. Hello, I'm Shane Ward. The theme we'll be following this series is called Seeing is Believing, question mark. I'm going to tell you up front that it is my firm belief that if we want to experience the extraordinary, we need to see it first. Only then will we experience it. In essence, we are going to go on a journey where I will flip that title around to read Believing is Seeing. Of course, actually witnessing something plays a huge role in strengthening belief, but I want to show you that it is not always the only answer. There is still a modern day flat earth society, despite very clear photographs and scientific evidence that the earth is a sphere. You simply cannot convince a man against his will. There is an important lesson right here. When our minds are closed, even the clearest presentation of facts will be rejected. Let's take that as the first clue that we actually see with our minds. More than that, if you are going to do the impossible in this life and surpass your own mental barriers, you will need to believe first and see and experience what you have believed later. Let's take a look at an example as our point of departure in this series and build from there. Roger Bannister ran the sub 4-minute mile in the worst possible conditions on the 6th of May 1954. In so doing, he did what the world believed to be a human impossibility. Athletes had been seriously and relentlessly chasing the goal of running a sub 4-minute mile since 1886. In desperate attempts, runners were chased by bulls in the hope that a spark of adrenaline, along with the motivation of not getting a horn in their flesh, would sharpen their motivation to run the mile in under 4 minutes. After 68 years of failed attempts, the sub 4-minute mile became not just a physical barrier, but a psychological one too. Until remarkably, Roger Bannister actually did it. And more remarkably, what took 68 years to achieve took 46 days to be surpassed. Why is that so? Most of our barriers need to first be conquered in our minds before we can express them to the world. When Roger Bannister broke the 4-minute mile, he broke with it the belief that it could not be done. He not only shattered a record, he also shattered a mental barrier. Today, more than 1,000 runners have achieved that feat, a feat the world thought impossible. What did Roger Bannister do differently? Besides being a talented athlete, he was also a neurologist, and he would close his eyes and visualize himself running and breaking the tape with the clock showing a time of less than 4 minutes. By doing this, he created a sense of certainty in his mind and body. He had a dream, and he allowed that dream to transport him so he actually felt the exhilaration of achievement. He lived the dream as he trained, and he coached his mind and body to absorb the reality of what he had not yet achieved, but could see. Tomorrow, we will pull some more valuable life lessons from this extraordinary story. Until then.